like to let me say something, please. I would like to thank the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for inviting me to the valedictory session of International Conference of CA Students 2022. My heartfelt namaskars to dignitaries who are on the stage, Sri Sushil Kumar Goyal ji, Sri Dayaniva Sharma ji, Sri Sridhar Muppala ji, Sri Chandrababu ji, Sri Uppalapati Saran Kumar ji. My wholehearted namaskars to all the distinguished guests and people of eminence and caliber from the domain of Chartered Accountants of India. And my warm wishes to you all. And especially for skipping your lunch to all the valedictorians here. And I really felt bad that you have skipped lunch. And I wholeheartedly, my pranams to you all. And you are the one who soon to become chartered accountants, auditors, finance analysts, investment bankers, and financial wizards you're going to be in future. And the growing economy of India, you're going to be instrumental in it. And for you all, my wholehearted greetings and my wholehearted namaskars and my best greetings to you all. The very beginning, normally I won't prepare. Normally I speak from my heart. I prefer to speak from my heart, but especially from the Chartered Accountants of India, they gave me specifically like, please be prepared and come. That's the reason, in a kind of in a meticulous manner, I prepared myself. I made my own notes. Because I know how tough the CA is going to be. CA exams, I know how tough they are. It's only on merit. So I truly appreciate that made me to be more prepared, to be more precise, and not to waste your time. So the theme of the conference being facing the future, innovate, integrate, and motivate. A quote came into my mind when I was preparing for this speech from one of the eminent persons of the financial world, Mr. Motilal Oswal, who's a chairman and managing director of Motilal Financial Services. And his quote is, "What wise men do in the beginning, fools do in the end." So wise man has the power to look into future and to take the right decisions in the very beginning itself, unlike others. Right from my teens till now, it's always quite interesting and intriguing to look at people who could foresee the future of our world, especially in terms of socio-economic and political situation. So my fundamental question was always how only few could achieve what they had achieved. Why not others? That was my fundamental question. That has become a lifetime pursuit for me to think about future. It started with my future first, and then it extended to the future of my fellow human beings. And before I get into the main speech, I want to say, normally I think most of the people are from Telugu-speaking states. But the purpose of saying in English is, because our brothers and sisters came from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and neighboring countries. So I welcome you all. That's the reason why I'm making an attempt to say it in English. Because maybe politically we might be different, but from heart, we're all one. So it's always for me, the purpose is, okay, I I take that innovate and integrate and motivate. I don't know how much I can motivate. I'll share my experiences with you. I don't know how much I have achieved. What I had achieved, really, I never audited it. So maybe I take your help in future to audit my success. And the fear of future and the fear of unknown, what makes me care, what keeps me alive, and what made me to pursue. Let it be acting, let it be films, let it be politics. As an actor, it is my livelihood. Politics is for my country. It's for my nation. So as you are getting into it, maybe a lot of people would ask me, like, on what people might sometimes, they have a different opinion about me. Maybe I never told till now. What is my fundamental framework of functioning? The physical and emotional, spiritual framework of mine. I never shared it with anyone till to date. Maybe first time, you compel me. You compel me to say this. And I'm glad that I'm saying it today. So by the end of this session, I would be glad if I had lived up to the expectation which you're expecting out of me, the kind of which I could reach up to your expectation. I hope I reach out. For me, to succeed in our life, in our line of profession, I always had a purpose, aim, and justification, and more important, and the means to achieve it. I have developed a very clear-cut system of rules and principles for the goals I kept, and the profession I have chosen, and the life I want to lead. It is based on ancient, our scriptures, to put a check and minimize, or to an extent to cut down. It is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madamatsharya. For my Sri Lankan and Bangladeshi friends to make you understand, it is a lust, wrath, greed, infatuation, pride, and envy. I want to put a check on, minimize on this, because entire humanity, entire humans, lack of control on these things. The six core nature of our nature, elements of our nature, this is where we have to put a check on it and to minimize it to succeed. And this is one. And second one is from Gandhiji, politics without principle, wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, and commerce without morality, science without humanity, and worship without sacrifice. This is what my fundamental framework, I based on this. So within this kind of framework, I was thinking how much it is really possible to base on this, to be based on this framework and to move forward and to succeed, or to make a livelihood. It's quite difficult for me. And I was searching for answers in my life. I was truly searching for answers. I don't know how to be successful. I don't know what to achieve. I never had the regular education like you, because I was bored going to schools and colleges. I taught myself. And I went to school. The questions I had, my teachers couldn't answer. So I came out, one day I told my parents, I said, I'm not going to study anymore because I'm not interested in the regular school curriculum. So I walked out and I pursued different kinds of learning. Let it be music, let it be philosophy, let it be logic and reasoning, let it be ethics. And I buried myself in books, in search of answers, in search of to have a quality life, to have a better thinking, to be successful. But by the end of few years, by the age of 22, 23, I ended up as a completely lost out. I don't know what I was doing with my life. And I was dependent on my family for my pocket money, to buy books, not for smoking or drugs or not for drinks. But still I didn't like it to be a dependent on my family members. So then it dawned on me, I should do something with my life. I have to make a livelihood. But whatever qualification I had, it's not very unconventional. So I don't know what to do. So finally, I was thinking, I was praying universe. I said, give me an opportunity. I don't know what to do with my life. So the reason is, why I'm saying it is, you're all prepared. You're all getting prepared, being prepared. You're under the preparation. Some of you had prepared, are venturing out into life. Now an opportunity knocks on your door. And that opportunity which knocks on your door might not be up to your liking, might not be up to the expectation of yours. The same way, for me also, the kind of opportunity I was looking for and what knocked on my door was two different things. And cinema knocked on my door. And I was a very scary guy. I never ventured out of my room. Always I was in the learning process. I was scared. Even to come out of my room, a few guests were there, and I used to run away. And from there, life made me, compel me to face lakhs of people and be confident and to be what you want to be. This all happened that one opportunity. And the opportunity which I wanted, it was not cinema, even if I wanted to do cinema. It is not of my choice. I didn't like my first film. I didn't like that opportunity at all. My aspirations, my ambitions were sky high, but I had the opportunity somewhere here. I felt bad. But because of my consistent and constant learning, life made me to think, after everything, whatever you prepared for, whatever you trained for, but this is the only opportunity you got. Nothing in the vicinity. You better grab it. Don't waste time. I grabbed that opportunity. And to your surprise, it didn't do well. I loved it. But I felt good because I did a good job within my limits. Not that I did an extraordinary job. I did within my best of my effort. I put my best of my efforts. But I was not disappointed with the outcome of the film. It was not a successful cinema. But maybe a few people must have recognized me. And I had one more opportunity knocked on my door. The producer was not a regular producer. And he's not into filmmaking. He was into Arab business. And no way connected with cinema. And he came. I was thinking all through my efforts, with all my philosophy, with my ideology, or with all my thought process, with all my learning, still I'm not able to attract the right opportunity. But still, I went and embraced it. It gave me a ray of hope. It became a little successful. So by then, I was getting, in next 3-4 films, what my growth was like this. For my first film, by the end of the 7th film, it was like this, the graph. So the key is, so that's what Mr. Sharma ji is saying, that's what he's saying, Aduvari Matalik Ardhalu Verlu, that's the meaning here. Especially to my Bangladeshi and my Sri Lankan friends, I want to say, to make you understand Aduvari Matalik Ardhalu Verlu means, girls mean different. I mean, what they say and what they mean are two different things. I'm sorry, this is not my opinion, please forgive me. This is what the lyricist had written, that's what it means. So it's not my opinion. So, whatever opportunity you're going to get in future, imagine, don't undermine it. With all your best efforts, with all your complete, learning abilities and everything, if something knocked on your door, and please, make sure, be aware, grab that opportunity. Why? You are competing with 1.4 billion people on a day-to-day basis. No matter how small or insignificant the opportunity is, you are privileged and better than the majority. So grab that opportunity, make the most of it. Nothing is a dream job. There is no dream job at all. But let the job which comes into your hand, make it to fulfill your dreams. That's what I would like to share first. In this process, you're bound to have a failure and success. As I said earlier, you'll go through failures, you'll go through success. How do you handle failures and how do you handle success? When you had tremendous amount of failure in my life, what I felt was, you're looking at a man who is filled with failures in his life, not with success. Because adversity reveals true character. The more adverse conditions you have, the more potentiality of yours will come out. So a failure and adverse conditions, it's always about how do you fight against it? How do you withstand the turbulence? How do you overpower them? How make sure you won't lose it? You lose to it, but you stand out. And that's what I would like to share, this part of my life. As I said earlier, I lost in cinema. I succeeded. For next 6-7 years, I never had success. Again, I had very existential questions. With all this success, what I'm going to do? A life which is completely lived for yourself is of no use unless it is extended to others. This thought made me to be away from the very cinema which I loved. And I had failures, series of failures. And people who cheer up for me, who stand up for me, they were cursing me. What happened to your competitive spirit? What happened to your tenacity? What happened to your fighting spirit? I never lost my tenacity, I never lost my perseverance, I never lost my fighting spirit. But I was under a very existential thought process. And then, finally, an opportunity came, and another film became a huge success. That's called Gabbar Singh. So what I mean to say is, you get failures. And then, once in a while, I had success later, I had failures. It depends. It was going like this, in a curvy way. And how do you behave when you get success? Then I would like to end up with failure. I had the highest success possible, but I never felt great about it. The reason is, because to achieve something, even for me to address a kind of, to come in front of this podium and address a speech to you, you know how many tens of people has to work for it. A success comes onto a plate out of many invisible hands. Many invisible hands. It's not just I was alone. Maybe we are at the pinnacle point. Maybe we are being thrusted upwards. But always I look at the people who are contributors for my success. That's why I never had a great feeling about my success. But I'm grateful to the people who stood by me thick and thin. And acknowledgement is very important in success. Especially when you're going to be the financial wizards, you're going to be quite successful people. But understand, there are people who would really contribute to your success. Please kindly acknowledge them. And success is transitory. The way failure is a transitory, success is also transitory. Please don't stick to success and don't take too much into your head. That's all I would like to share there. When it comes to politics, I'm a failed politician as on now. No, let us. No, acceptance. Acceptance. Okay. I'm not feeling bad about it, let me tell you. I'm not feeling bad about it. Failure is halfway to success. I never feel low about my failures. I feel good about my failures because I have achieved something. Unlike many people who want to see a change in the society, they don't do anything. They sit in their comfortable chairs. They have opinions on every damn thing. They have everything to say, right from cricket, right from day-to-day events, everything they have an opinion, but they won't do anything. For me, I'm doing something, and yet I failed. I feel good about it. I attempted. So tomorrow, you try to achieve something in the process. If you fail, don't regret. It's just transitory. It's a passing phase. Never ever lose your spirit out of failure. That's what I would like to share. Nowadays, the lifestyle, we are in a generation of lifestyle diseases. And we are in a generation of instant gratification. Long back when I wanted to do something for society, I started an organization called, before I came into politics, I started a thing called Common Man Protection Force, which was a preliminary exercise for a political party. And I met a lot of youngsters from different engineering colleges and all. The reason why I'm saying instant gratification is, people want success immediately. They want change immediately. It won't happen like that. You have to work towards it. So they got disillusion. They got disillusioned, disappointed within 10 days. They're looking for a change because they came. In one session, you can't change. It takes a minimum decade to feel a dent, to put a dent for anything. It's not going to be easy. So this is the lifestyle, and the reason why I was looking for why these kids are, why they are not at all motivated. Why their enthusiasm is like this and going down immediately. I feel they haven't living the life completely. They need everything immediately, like instant coffee, instant food, like Maggi noodles, like an instant Nescafe. No, life doesn't happen that way. You have to really work hard towards it. Today, my mission to make sure to empower youth of this nation. Instead of sitting, cursing our political system, let us do something about it. I made this as my mission, my life statement. Yeah. And for that, it is not just words. For me as a kid, you want to have a strong mind, you have to have a very strong body. Not in terms of muscularity, not in terms of ripped eight-pack. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about very disease-free body. Not a body of sloth, not a body of lethargy, but not a body of dullness, but body of instant energy, immense energy. This is what my father taught me, which I would like to share, which most of you must be knowing. ఇనుప కండరాలు, ఉక్కు నరాలు, వజ్ర సంకల్పం ఉన్న యువత ఈ దేశానికి కావాలి. ఇటువంటి వారు 100 మంది ఉంటే చాలు, ఈ దేశ దిశ మార్చేయచ్చు. ఇది స్వామి వివేకానంద చెప్పిన. So instead of, as most of you, going to be in 4 walls, hardly you'll get exposed to sunlight. Just once in a while you come out, make it a regular regimen to go out every day, to have some sports, to do some yoga, I advise you to do some martial arts. And one of the recent times I was watching a lot of Sri Lankan videos, And please tell my Sri Lankan friends, I'm telling you, please, I really admire one of your martial artists, I forgot his name, but his group, they're excellent in defending, self-defense practices. They're really, really good. And I want that kind of youth. Just because you are into accounting job, never ever people underestimate you. Never ever. You should be capable of defending yourself. You get into martial arts not to hit people. No, it's not about hitting people. It is about to have confidence in yourself. When you're really strong personality, you don't like to hit people. Only the weaklings only hit. That's why I try to be a very strong mindset, develop a very strong body. Apart from that, be in control of your emotions. Even if you want to unleash a war, even if you want to do something, fight against the system, better your emotions be under your control. Mere IQ, I know that all of you have greatest level of IQ. You also focus on EQ. Your emotions should be under your control. Don't let your emotions be dictated by others. Even if I'm saying something, I want you to very carefully analyze what I'm saying. Does he mean it? Does he live whatever, each and everything he says? Whatever good I'm saying, take it, or rest leave it. I want you to be that practical even when it comes to the people whom you love and adore. So, for me, heroes are something, not from cinema. For me, the heroes are Swami Vivekananda. For me, the heroes are Netaji. For me, the heroes are Azad, Bhagat Singh. And the unsung heroes, the real heroes of this nation, are not the ones who are known. The heroes who are very rarely we get to know them. Very small fragment of society only knows them. For example, there's an individual called, a senior citizen called Vanajeevi Ramaya. All through his life, he was a small-time laborer. He never had, apart from his physical labor, he never had anything to make a living out of, like he used to do he does hard labor. And take a bunch of saplings, young saplings, tie it under his cycle. He used to keep on planting them all through the parts of Khammam. For decades together, he planted lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of trees. And he never sought recognition. He never sought recognition for what he did. And finally, I'm glad that central government gave him Padma Shri Award in recent times. I'm glad for that. Look forward for the heroes within your vicinity. Hardly they're known. Recently, in one of my political party meetings, I'm sorry, I'm not able to get his name. There was some kind of floods in one of the Rayalaseema areas, Annamaya Dam. The floods were happening, and it is able to immerse the villages. And not even government was not reacting, but this one individual, who was a very small-time employee in the irrigation department, he saved 300 lives just telling them, please run away. What is like, your villages are going to get drowned. Can you imagine? We will never get to know that kind of people. Always your mothers and the real heroes in our family, they're within our vicinity, even within your family. Our parents who really does great amount of hard work to get us educated, to provide us food, to provide us shelter. We don't know their sacrifices they made for us. Acknowledge your parents. They are really heroes for us. Please kindly acknowledge your parents. I know that you know acknowledging, but never undermine, just because most of the time we take people of our near and dear for granted. But there is a lot of hard work to make us to fulfill our dreams. So I prefer heroes in real life. That's what I prefer. So always look for real heroes around you. and kindly acknowledge them, take inspiration from them. You have a choice. The final conclusion statement. You have a choice. You want to make a life of an impact. You want to make an impactful life, or you want to make an income-oriented life. The choice is yours. I prefer to live a life of impact, an impactful life, not an income-oriented life. That's why I never did. I made a very conscious call because of my set of rules and my moral framework. I had a great opportunity to do ads, which I could have earned a lot of money, a lot of crores. Maybe I would have bought this building when I was to do it. By then it was cheap then. But I never made it. The reason was I never wanted to run behind money. For me, I want to leave an impact on the generation, and I want to be grateful to the generation who had sacrificed. That's the reason I want to live a life of impact than a life based on income. And we have a choice of, you want to be a man of success or are you a man of value? I prefer to be both. You can have values, at the same time you can have success. Don't go for shortcuts in life. I never made shortcuts. And the future is going to be yours. My final words are this. I read in one of your SEA journals only. A person can't be perfect. Maximum he can be a chartered accountant. So you're close to perfection. So wishing you very, very best for your future. Telugu cheppala? Okay, I have to take excuse from my friends from Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. And also people, I think I heard that a lot of people from different states came all gathered up here. So now I'll conclude my remarks in Telugu. నాకు ఇప్పుడు సడన్గా తెలుగు నుంచి ఇంగ్లీష్ తెలుగు ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేయడం కష్టమే. చార్టెడ్ అకౌంటెంట్ అనేవాళ్ళు క్లోజెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ పర్ఫెక్షన్ అవ్వ. మీరు సాధించకపోతే ఇంకెవరు సాధిస్తారు? మీరు కాకపోతే ఇంకెవరు ఈ దేశాన్ని సాధించగలరు? ఇంకెవరు సక్సెస్ సాధించగలరు? నేను కోరుకునేది మీ అందరి నుంచి ఒకటే. నేను కోరుకునేది ఒకటే. మిలీనియల్స్ అనగానే మిలీనియల్స్ మేబీ యువర్ అందరూ నాకు తెలిసి మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ యు ఆర్ మస్ట్ బి మిలీనియల్స్ అనుకుంటాను. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ దమ్ ఆర్ మిలీనియల్స్ ఐ థింక్. 2000 తర్వాత పుట్టిన వాళ్ళు అనుకుంటాను మీ అందరూ. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. ఓకే. మిమ్మల్ని అందరూ అండర్మైన్ చేస్తారు, మిమ్మల్ని అందరినీ అండర్ ఎస్టిమేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. యు ప్రూవ్ దెమ్ దే ఆర్ రాంగ్. అందరికీ నేను ఏదో చెప్తాను, వయసు వచ్చేసినంత మాత్రాన, తెల్ల జుట్టు వచ్చినంత మాత్రాన జ్ఞానం ఉందని కాదు. ఈవెన్ ఎందుకు చెప్తానండి మాట, బై ది ఏజ్ ఆఫ్ 10 సంవత్సరాల లోపు పిల్లలు జీనియస్లు అంటారు. చాలా ఇన్నోవేటివ్గా ఉంటారు వాళ్ళ ఇన్నోవేషన్ని, వాళ్ళ క్రియేటివ్ ఎబిలిటీస్ని మన సిస్టమ్ ద్వారా చంపేస్తాం. మన ఫోర్స్డ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్యాటర్న్ ద్వారా యూ బ్రేక్ ద రూల్స్. ఫస్ట్ లెర్న్ ద రూల్స్, బ్రేక్ ద రూల్స్. ఎంత పెద్దవాడైనా సరే, ఎంత గొప్ప ఏ స్థాయి వ్యక్తి అయినా సరే, యూ ఎనలైజ్ దెమ్. బాగా ఎనలైజ్ చేయండి, వీళ్ళు సరిగ్గా ఉన్నారా లేదా, మన రియల్ రోల్ మోడల్సా కాదా. వాళ్ళు రోల్ మోడల్స్ కాకపోతే యూ బీ యువర్ ఓన్ రోల్ మోడల్. మీరు ఎవరిని కూడా జస్ట్ బికాస్ సమ్వన్ ఈజ్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్, సమ్వన్ హ్యాస్ గట్, చాలామంది పెద్ద పేరు ఉందని కానీ, లేదంటే ప్రపంచం అంతా వాళ్ళ విశ్వవ్యాప్తమైన పేరు ఉన్నంత మాత్రాన వాళ్ళు గొప్ప వాళ్ళు అయిపోయారు. విలువలు ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. పేరున్నంత మాత్రాన విలువలు ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. డబ్బున్నంత మాత్రాన విలువలు ఉంటాయని మీరు అనుకోకండి. డబ్బులు ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ గొప్పవాళ్ళు, పేరున్న వాళ్ళందరూ మహానుభావులు అనుకోకండి. నిజమైన మహానుభావులు బయటకు కూడా రారు. అందుకే మీకు నేను చెప్పదలుచుకుంది, మీరు ప్రతి ఒక్కరిని గుడ్డిగా నమ్మద్దు. ఎవరినైనా సరే, యువర్ థింకింగ్ మైండ్స్, మీ లాజికల్ మైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ రేషనాలిటీ, మీరు ఏది తప్పు ఏది ఒప్పు మీరు నిర్ణయించుకునే శక్తి మీ దగ్గర ఉంది. గుడ్డిగా ఎవరిని నమ్మకండి, గుడ్డిగా ఫాలో అవ్వకండి ఎవరిని. మీరు ఆలోచించండి. నిజంగా మీకు నాలాంటి వాడిని కూడా మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, ఇతను ఎంతవరకు సరిగ్గా ఉన్నాడు, ఎంతవరకు సరిగ్గా లేదు, ఎంతో కావాలో తీసుకొని మిగతా వదిలేసింది. గుడ్డిగా ఎవరిని నమ్మం, ఇన్క్లూడింగ్ గాడ్. అలాగే మీ సక్సెస్, మన పర్సనల్ సక్సెస్సే దేశానికి పెట్టుబడి. మన పర్సనల్ సక్సెస్సే మీరందరూ ఏమనుకుంటారు, నా పర్సనల్ సక్సెస్ స్వార్థం కాదు అది. ఇమాజిన్ యూ బికమ్ గ్రేటెస్ట్, మీరు రేపొద్దున మీకు ఫైనాన్షియల్ విజర్డ్స్ అవుతారు. యూ మైట్ వన్ ఆఫ్ యూ మైట్ గో టు వాల్ స్ట్రీట్, మేబీ వన్ ఆఫ్ యూ బికమ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ అనలిస్ట్. మీరు ఏదైనా సరే, యువర్ ఎంటైర్ సక్సెస్ ఈజ్ కాంట్రిబ్యూటింగ్ ఫర్ దిస్ నేషన్. ఈ దేశానికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. అందుకని మీరు మీ పర్సనల్ సక్సెస్, సో లెట్ మీ సే, అది నాకేదో తెలుగులో చెప్పడం కొంచెం సడన్గా ఆ ప్రిపరేషన్ లేను నేను. లెట్ మీ సే దిస్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్, ఓకే? ఆల్ యువర్ పర్సనల్ సక్సెస్ may contribute in making our motherland Bharat a stronger, self-reliant and a righteous nation. If not you, who else? Jai Hind.